Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I'm kicking ass on my list here. Sorry you had to wait a little bit. We're gonna start with Grandpa Bernie first. He's kind of the one that pulled at me first. So, you know how this works. I just always like to remind people this is not an exact science. Sometimes you gotta stretch it outside the box. You know how that works. So it's anyway, you've done it enough, you know. Grandpa says, you have no clue how many times he sat there with that serious look, looking at you. But on the inside, he was chuckling. And he tried not to show it. He'd look at you and kind of go, really? And then he'd be kind of this kind of laugh inside. He thinks you're so cute. Oh, he says, she's over here, then she's over there, then she's up there, and then she's over there, and she's back here. That's like the inside of my head. And he's laughing. He says, you're a little ball of fire. He said you were that way your whole life. He's looking at me and he says, you think it's bad now, Rhonda? He says, you should have seen her when she was real little. Oh, who just posted this video of this little girl, and she's climbing up the handles of the refrigerator. I can't remember which one of my friends just posted that, so that she could open the cabinet above. She's like a little monkey standing there with her foot on the ice, where you get the ice and stuff out. He says that was like you. He said she was all over the place. And he's still laughing though. He said it was almost impossible to be mad at you. He said sometimes I would go, where the hell did that come from? Something you would do or something. And to you, it's like, hey, okay. And he would sit there and go, where the hell did that come from? He loves your energy. Oh, he says he loves you. He says he didn't tell you enough when he was here. You know, and every time I hear that in a reading, I always tell people now how much you love them. You don't wait until you're gone and some medium has to bring you through to tell them you love them. Tell them now. He said he didn't do it enough. He loved your spunk. He loved your fire. And still does. Okay, I'm not sure what this is. He's showing like a bonfire or a fire pit or something. And it's like people are jumping and dancing around it. I don't think it's like a voodoo session or some kind of ritual. I think everybody maybe had a drink, maybe just dancing and having fun, or maybe he's showing it that way, just showing that everybody's lively and having fun and bouncing around. And it's good. I don't know if you have a fire pit, if you've just done this, getting ready to do this. Things are starting to get nicer. Can't wait to go camping. And I don't remember where you live. I'm in Kansas. So he's just, he says he wants to say again, he just loved your fire and your energy. Keep it up. Don't ever let anybody put your light out or make you hide your light. Because he says, that's you. That's you, the real you. He says, you try to hide it a little bit. Yeah, well, I used to do the same thing. Now I let that shit out. If people don't like it, they can take a hike. That's me. I'm different. Definitely different. It's like somebody told me the other day, when are you going to grow up? I have to grow old. I don't have to grow up. I will never grow up. I will let that child fly all she wants to. Okay? And he keeps referring to me to tell you. It's like we came out of a hamburger joint, my grandson and I started dancing across the parking lot in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. And he says, "Grandma, really?" And I said, "If you feel like dancing, dance. You think I give a shit about what those people looking out the window think of me? Number one, I'll never see them again, so I don't care. But quit giving a shit about what the people are going to think. Let your flag fly. Let your soul free." He's he's tapping his foot but like to music though, not tapping like impatient tapping. He's tapping like he says like there was music inside of him. How do we say this? Music inside of him, but he thought he needed to sit there and be kind of prim and proper sometimes because the old lady would yell at him and tell him to quit it. I'm not sure if the old lady means his wife or who. He says, but he would be tapping his foot to the music because he really wanted to get up and dance around and be silly and do what other people consider dumb stuff. He says, "Don't stuff it like I did." Where again, inside he would be smiling and in his head be dancing. But to be proper and not get yelled at or be told he's acting childish like somebody tells me, I don't give a shit. He says, it kind of eats on you when you really want to let her rip and you feel like you need to stay in your box because everybody thinks that's the way you're supposed to act. He's making a big deal out of this, telling you that all this. Let your freak flag fly. He says as long as it's not mean, hurtful, he's just showing you like being like just almost busting loose, like oh, just he's wanting you to totally let it fly. Quit containing it. He says it'll give you an ulcer. He says if you feel like wiggling your butt to the music as you're walking down the street, do it. Who cares? What somebody else thinks of you is none of your business. Who cares? Keeps going, who cares? Stop worrying about their opinion. And I don't know that he's just talking about a person. I think he's talking about people in general. He's tapping on my head. So he, got a belch. Sorry. So he'll be tapping on your head. Oh, he said he's tapping trying to get my attention. What? So I think you've done this enough. You know how you'll feel it, or if you start getting a headache right there on that spot. Right now he's on the right side, but that usually Bob's on my left and they come in on my right. But so if you get like a pain in one spot, the goosebumps and the sometimes I can just feel their finger, like they're not even touching my head, but I feel their finger going down through my hair. Little spiky shit here. Okay, he's talking about flowers, but he's talking about, I don't know if you've recently taken flowers to him, given him a flower by his picture, something about giving him flowers, but he says it's not really about you giving him flowers, it's about he's going to give you flowers. I don't know how he's going to make that happen. You're going to be getting flowers. I don't know if somebody's just going to walk up and offer you a bouquet of flowers, or could even be a little kid, going out quick. My flowers aren't blooming in Kansas yet, but some little kid's going to pick some random flowers and just walk up and hand them to you. Something about giving, you're going to be handed flowers or given flowers, or they're going to fall in front of you. I'm not exactly sure. He's not, but you will be receiving them instead of giving them to him. So no, doesn't matter who gives you these flowers. It's because of Grandpa. Grandpa's nudging somebody to bring you flowers in some way. Maybe it's just a picture of flowers. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the real thing. So when that happens, or maybe it just happened, when that happens, thank him. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and thank him. Because he's sending you love. He's saying, I usually ask him, don't go back so far in the memories that the person is so little that they can't remember. If you go back to like when they were 1 year old or something, you're not going to remember what happened. Well, I don't know. I had a family member that seemed to think that he could remember the day he was born. But something about when you were little, and like when he would go outside, maybe to mow or do something, outside in the yard, something, and you would follow him around like a shadow, like a puppy dog, just kind of stuck to him like glue, just following him every place he went. One of those things, kind of like, what you doing? What you doing? How you doing? How you doing that? What you doing? He said he kind of just ignored you and let you just follow him around. Then he's showing picking you up, and you're pretty small, so I don't know if you're going to remember this or not, and maybe there's a picture of it or something. He's picking you up and he's holding you. And you're not a baby, but 4 or 5 years old, just roughly. And you're picking an apple or something off the tree. He's reaching up and grabbing it, but so are you, so I don't know which one of you's grabbing this apple, or both maybe, and you're eating it fresh off the tree. It may not be an apple. It could be a pear or something, but it looks like an apple. It looks like an apple tree. He enjoyed spending time with you. Always a little bright spot for him. It's kind of like when he would hear that you were coming over, he'd go, she's coming? She's coming to see us? He may not have shown it on the outside, but that's the way he felt on the inside. He's talking about something being hefty. Hefty, like hefty trash bags, hefty. Something being hefty. He's not talking about you being heavy. I don't think he's talking about a person being heavy. maybe an emotion, something that's hefty, something that's pretty heavier, heavy, hefty, though. He's used the word hefty. He's not explaining. He's talking about the old gal. So was he married to the grandma that you sent in for a reading? I'm not getting a clear feeling, yes or no. Something about colors. All right, now he's just throwing words out. Colors. Don't know that it has anything to do with hefty. The colors, it's like all kinds of colors. Just don't know what that means for sure. So had me drawn to my Alexa. Can't say her name or she won't shut up. There was a song he wanted for you. So the way it works is first song. Never heard this song before. I just ask her, play a song, because that's the way it works in my world. Anyway, and it's called If I Were a Boy by Mickey somebody. I can't quite catch the last name and she's not displaying it. So go play that song. There's something in it from Grandpa to you. Like I said, I've never heard the song before. If I Were a Boy. So, but there's a lot of, I just listened to a few lines of it. It's gone. She just lost it. So, might be a little theme song for you there. Because it is different. Because we're a girl. Or if we were a boy, it'd be different. Anyway, there's a message in there for you from Grandpa. Check it out. He says you're kind of a tomboy. Yeah, so am I. So, it's like, okay, he's making me think. I don't even know how old you are. Learn while you're younger that back in the 70s, no, 80s, back in the 80s, I was the first female around here to have my own motorcycle, and it was a big one, 1000cc Suzuki. Then I eventually went to Harley, but now half the people riding are girls. Back then, girls didn't drive their own motorcycle. I did. A big old fairing, put my feet up on the fairing, go down the highway. Hell yes. Be that girl. That's what he's trying to get at. That's why he's reminding me that. Be that girl. Be that innovator. Be that first one. Be that. Don't give a shit what they think or what they say. Don't care if no other girls had their own motorcycle around here. I did. And I was blessed with really good friends that taught me how to drive it. I bought 400 Yamaha, didn't know how to drive it. Went and bought it. Friend rode it home for me and taught me how to ride it. Be that. That's what he's wanting you to come out of your shell. I mean, he's really pushing it. You think I cared about what the people thought when I was riding my bike down that road? Nope. Rode it to Sturgis and back. He's using my examples. He's drawing them out of me to show you this is what he wants you to do. He says, you've got it inside you. Don't keep it caged up. He says, let her rip. Why not? He says, who are you trying to impress? And I'll say, doing those things, it lets your light shine, and people are so just drawn to you once your light shines. Again, he says, let her rip. He says, you've always had that spark in you. It'd be a shame to hide it. He's shown himself swinging a golf club. So even if he didn't play golf here, he is now. He says he's just like a pro. Because he can. He can now. He says Tiger Woods don't have shit on me. Okay, I'm trying to get him to show me something else. Now he's still standing there like he just nailed that golf ball. And he's just standing there with his back to me. He's basically shown himself by himself. You know, I keep asking him, okay, who's with you? Who's with you? And, you know, it's up to him to say. He keeps talking about the old gal. The old gal. So I don't know if he's talking about the other, your grandmother that you have listed on reading. He just keeps mentioning the old gal, but he's not. Okay, now he's kind of showing a female. He's going, and mom, and mom, and my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom. But that's not the female he's showing. But she's not skinny. She's not, I wouldn't call her, you know, like really, really heavy. But mom is something separate. This is the old gal that he's showing. Or at least that's the way it feels. But then it could be his mom. He's going, my mom. He just keeps saying, my mom, my mom, my mom. But I don't feel like he's talking about this woman that I can barely see. Now here comes a cat. Looks like it's black, or at least really dark. It's kind of like a black cat. And a dog. And he's calling one of them Scooter. You know, we stink at names, so if it's not Scooter, it's something close. You might have to stretch that outside the box a little bit. He's pointing at my shirt. He's pointing at Bossy. He's pointing at Bossy. He's pointing at you. But he's laughing. He said when you were little, you were kind of demanding. But he didn't mind a bit. He loves you very much. He's not saying it. We really don't have an ego once we get up there. But it's almost like his male pride, which we really don't have that. Those types of emotions. But it's almost like it won't let him say how much he admires you now. He does think a lot of you. He trusted you. He's calling you his little pig pen. So there again, that's kind of a nickname. Stink at names. And the more I say it, the more I jinx myself, I know. But So did he call you a little pig pen when you were little and you go out play in the dirt? Or was there actually a pig pen? I don't think he's talking about a physical pig pen. He's calling you some cute little, trying to call you some cute little nickname. He wants to see you happy. Happy, happy, happy. So, and I've probably told you before, but it's like I tell everybody, whatever Grandpa was good at here, call on him to help you with that now. Only use whatever it is you're trying to work on or whatever problem comes up. You know, we've got all these different guides and I can't even remember all the names of them, like Joy Guide and Teaching Guide and Speaker Guide. And I mean, there's a guide for everything. You don't have to know their names. Just go, hey, I need a Joy Guide right now. I'm really kind of blue. So whatever he was good at here, call on him for that. And it's like, you know, what Jason was good at. We call on him for that. I still love his eyes. So Grandpa says you really don't need him for anything except maybe some reassurance. Some, a little bit of strength, a little bit of more self-confidence. The feeling that you know that you're loved. He said other than that, he doesn't feel like he really needs to help you with the other stuff. But he can bring you more of those things. So when you feel like you need one of those things, call on him. He can hear you. You know that. But anyway, back to those animals. He either had those animals, you had those animals, or somebody needs to know that those animals are safe, those fur babies are safe with him. Now he's laying in a hammock. He's kicked back, he's comfy, he's got like, almost looks like a bucket hat, but he's got it over his face. You know, blocking the sun out and everything, but it's over his face instead of on his head, and he's got his legs crossed, and he's kicked back in his hammock, and he's comfy, and he's getting ready to take a nap. So I don't know if this is something that he did, if this is a memory, or if he's showing that that's just how relaxed and that's what he's doing now. Or maybe you have a hammock in your yard and he goes out there and lays in that. If you do have a hammock, watch it. See if it might be out there just moving a little bit when there's no wind. Something different about it. I don't know if anybody has a hammock anymore. Okay, he's getting ready to leave. He says, I love you. Thank you for calling on me. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for sending me love. And they can still feel when you send them love. Love is the highest, the most important vibration there, here, everywhere. It is the highest form of compliment. It is the highest form of vibration. It is the goal that we work towards, even up there. The more we get rid of the negative shit, the more we raise that love vibration, the higher we get. And for some reason, he wanted me to explain that. Oh, he's trying to say, let not your heart be, I can't hear the last word. Let not your heart be, let not your heart be cruel. Sounds like he said cruel. C-R-U-E-L. Good thing I can spell, because sometimes I can't talk. Okay, he's gonna leave. Don't forget that I love you. Okay, much love to you, my dear. I'm working on the other ones. I'm working down the list. Sorry you had to wait a few days, but you know, sometimes I get a whole slew of them, and then I get almost caught up. Don't get any for a while, and then I get dumped on again, so I never know how long it's going to take. And I got people bitching at me because I got to wait a few days. Sorry, sorry, don't know what else to do. I can always refund their money. So at least people that know me know that I'm not dial-a-psychic. It's not going to happen as soon as you send your money in. Just the way it works. But then it stresses me out. Okay, I don't know why I'm babbling. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Don't forget to dance across that parking lot. I'm serious as hell. Set your soul free. Fly your freak flag. It'll do you good.